Azure Resource Access is managed via user accounts and identities with an Entra ID and offers group accounts for streamlined user administration. I will focus on leveraging Entra ID's user and group account functionalities. We will consider insights into creating, configuring, and overseeing these accounts. Our objectives encompass efficient bulk setting configuration, streamlined group account management, and effective multi-directory account administration. I will discuss how to configure user accounts and user account properties, create new user accounts, import bulk user accounts with a template, and configure group accounts and assignment types. Each Azure resource access necessitates an Azure user account. This account provides essential authentication details for a user sign-in. Azure Entra ID facilitates three user account categories based on origin: cloud or on-premise, and affiliation, internal or external, to your Azure AD organization. Let's take a look at those three user account categories. A user account with a cloud identity is defined only in Entra ID. This type of user account includes administrator accounts and users who are managed as part of your organization. A cloud identity can be for user accounts defined in your Azure Entra ID organization and also for user accounts defined in an external Azure Entra ID instance. When a cloud identity is removed from the primary directory, the user account is deleted. User accounts that have a directory synchronized identity are defined in an on-premise Active Directory. A synchronized activity occurs via Azure AD Connect to bring these user accounts into Azure. The source for these accounts is Windows Server Active Directory. Azure AD Connect is a Microsoft tool that enables organizations to synchronize and manage identities between their on-premise Active Directory and Azure Entra ID. It allows for a seamless integration of user accounts, groups, and other directory objects between the local Active Directory infrastructure and the cloud-based Azure Entra ID environment. Guest user accounts are defined outside Azure. Examples include user accounts from other cloud providers and Microsoft accounts like an Xbox Live account. The source for guest user accounts is when someone in the organization invites a user outside the organization using an invitation link usually sent to their email inbox. Guest user accounts are useful when external vendors or contractors need access to a company's resources and where access to those resources are managed through Azure Entra ID. Consider where users are defined. Are all your users defined within your Azure Entra ID organization, or are some users defined in external Azure Entra ID instances? Do you have users who are external to your organization? It's common for businesses to support two or more account types in their infrastructure. Consider support for external contributors. Allow external contributors to access Azure resources in your organization by supporting the guest user account type. When the external contributor no longer requires access, you can remove the user account and their access privileges. Consider a combination of user accounts. Implement the user account types that enable your organization to satisfy their business requirements. Support directory synchronized identity user accounts for users defined in Windows Server Active Directory. Support cloud identities for users defined in your internal Azure Entra ID structure or for users defined in an external Azure Entra ID instance. There are several ways to add cloud identity user accounts in Microsoft Entra ID. A common approach is by using the Azure portal. User accounts can also be added to Azure AD through Microsoft 365 Admin Center, Microsoft Intune Admin Console, and Azure CLI. Here's an example of the new user page in the Azure portal. The administrator can create a user within the organization or invite a guest user to provide access to organization resources. A new user account requires a display name and a user account name. User information, including job title and contact email, is stored in the user account profile. Consider user profile data. Allow users to set their profile information for their accounts as needed. User profile data, including the user's picture, job, and contact information, is optional. You can also supply certain profile settings for each user based on your organization's requirements. Consider restore options for deleted accounts. Include restore scenarios in your account management plan. Restore operations for a deleted account are available up to 30 days after an account is removed. After 30 days, a deleted user account can't be restored. Consider gather account data. Collect sign-in and audit log information for user accounts. Azure Entra ID lets you gather this data to help you analyze and improve your infrastructure. Microsoft Entra ID is equipped with robust capabilities to facilitate various bulk operations encompassing essential functions like bulk creation and deletion of user accounts. These operations are pivotal for efficiently managing a substantial number of user identities within the directory. The Azure portal serves as the primary interface for orchestrating these bulk operations. Its user-friendly interface streamlines the process, enabling administrators to enact large-scale user account management seamlessly. By utilizing the Azure portal, administrators can oversee the creation or removal of multiple user accounts concurrently, and thus optimizing administrative efficiency and minimizing time-intensive tasks. Complementing the Azure's portal functionality, Azure PowerShell emerges as a versatile and potent tool for executing bulk upload operations. Administrators can leverage Azure PowerShell to perform extensive user account uploads, empowering the automation of these operations for even greater scalability and precision. This capability proves especially beneficial when dealing with substantial data sets, as it enables administrators to efficiently integrate new user accounts into the Azure Entra ID ecosystem. Only global administrators or user administrators have privileges to create and delete user accounts in the Azure portal. To complete bulk create or delete operations, the admin fills out a comma-separated value template of the data for the user's account. Bulk operation templates can be downloaded from the Entra ID portal. Bulk list of user accounts can be downloaded. Consider naming conventions. You should establish or implement a naming convention for your user accounts. Apply conventions to user account names, display names, and user aliases for consistency across the organization. Conventions for names and aliases can simplify the bulk create process by reducing areas of uniqueness in the CSV file. A convention for user names could begin with the user's last name, followed by a period, and end with the user's first name. Consider using initial passwords. Implement a convention for the initial password of a newly created user. Design a system to notify new users about their passwords in a secure way. You might generate a random password and email it to the new user or their manager. Consider strategies for minimizing errors. View and address any errors by downloading the results file on the bulk operation result page in the Azure portal. The results file contains the reasons for each error. An error might be a user account that's already been created or an account that's duplicated. Generally, it's easier to upload and troubleshoot smaller groups of user accounts. Microsoft Entra ID offers your organization the capability to establish and manage two distinct categories of group accounts, each serving a specialized role in enhancing operational efficiency and fostering collaboration. Security groups within Azure Entra ID play a pivotal role in governing access to shared resources for designated sets of users and computers. These groups serve as a cornerstone for implementing robust security policies, ensuring that permissions and access rights are consistently applied across all members. By creating a security groups tailored to specific security mandates, your organization can seamlessly enforce and access controls, granting or restricting entry to critical resources in a coherent and organized manner. This functionality not only fortifies your security posture, but also streamlines administrative efforts, allowing for more efficient user management and authorization protocols. Microsoft 365 groups, on the other hand, are designed to foster collaboration and facilitate seamless communication among members. These groups provide a comprehensive suite of collaborative tools, granting participants access to a shared mailbox, shared calendar, collaborative files, SharePoint sites, and more. By leveraging Microsoft 365 groups, your organization can create an ecosystem that promotes teamwork and knowledge sharing, enabling members to collectively work on projects, share information, and enhance overall productivity. This integration of communication and collaboration tools within a single group framework fosters cohesion, reduces silos, and enhances the collective potential of your workforce. Employing security groups offers a strategic advantage in effectively managing permissions for a cohort of users, enabling the assignment of access rights to an entire group collectively, instead of navigating the cumbersome process of individually configuring permissions for each member. To enhance collaboration and expand accessibility, the inclusion of Microsoft 365 groups presents a valuable avenue. By incorporating Microsoft 365 groups, organizations extend the reach of a group resources to encompass guest users from external domains, thereby fostering an inclusive collaborative environment that transcends organizational boundaries. However, it is important to note that the creation and administration of security groups are exclusive to designated Entra ID administrators. This restriction ensures proper oversight and governance over access control and mechanisms, safeguarding the critical resources from unauthorized alterations. On the other hand, both regular users and Entra ID administrators wield the capabilities to harness the potential of Microsoft 365 groups. This democratized empowerment facilitates seamless collaboration and knowledge sharing, underpinning an environment conducive to enhance productivity and innovative endeavors. When adding members to a group, explore various access options based on your organization's needs. Carefully consider which groups are essential and how access rights should be applied to members. Tailoring these decisions ensures effective group management and aligns with organizations' objectives. Add specific users as members of a group, where each user can have a unique permission. Use dynamic membership rules to automatically add and remove group members. When member attributes change, Entra ID reviews the dynamic group rules for the directory. If the member attributes meet the rule requirements, the member is added to the group. If the member attributes no longer meet the rule requirements, the member is removed. Apply dynamic group rules to automatically add and remove devices in security groups. When device attributes change, Entra ID reviews the dynamic group rules for the directory. If the device attributes meet the rule requirements, the device is added to the security group. If the device attributes no longer meet the rule requirements, the device is removed. Devices cannot be dynamically assigned to Microsoft 365 groups. Security groups are focused on managing access to resources for users, while administrative units are geared towards delegating and managing administrative tasks and responsibilities within an organization's Microsoft Entra ID environment. They are primarily focused on controlling administrative access and responsibilities rather than managing access to resources for users. Administrative units mirror the organization's structure, allowing for more precise delegations of administrative tasks.